Hi there, welcome to the video. I felt like just documenting my week and seeing where it goes, so I hope it keeps you good company. I didn't think I'd come out to talk for this one, but finding 10 minutes of background music is not fun, so I thought I'd do a little voiceover instead. It's been a couple weeks since I filmed this video because I procrastinated editing, so whatever I'll be talking about is kind of a mix between how the week you're seeing went and how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking right now. Granted, not a lot of things have changed. I'm still focusing on art and struggling with it occasionally. Really, I'm kind of growing to accept that the constant highs and lows are inevitable and are just a part of the long-term process. At least for me, I can have a week full of wins and losses side by side. Drawings I love and had fun with next to drawings I struggled with and feel almost shameful about. Perfectionism and shame is a whole topic of its own, and we don't have time for that today. The week you're seeing in this video is no exception. I had a very bad session on Thursday. Thought I will just fix up the Canva sketch that I did in the beginning of the week, but ended up struggling with the anatomy so bad that it prompted a sort of crisis. I've since realized that an issue I have is sometimes just straight up not turning my brain on while drawing. All I needed to do in that Thursday instance was to take a pause and try a different approach, but I just kept doing what repeatedly kept not working. It's kind of like a mental block when I can't settle into a good tempo and drawing doesn't feel quite right, and I'm just autopiloting in the worst way. Some days are like this, I guess, but that session kind of humbled me and prompted me to get back into studying anatomy, so in a way it's a good thing. I haven't practiced it in a while, and refreshing the fundamentals always boosts your skill, so I got into Anatomy for Artists Drawing Form and Pose by Tom Fox. The next day, the very next day, I was feeling some type of way. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun. It was a very good refresher, and I've had this book for a while actually, and even started working through it a year or two back, so a lot of things were already kind of ingrained in my mind, but going through them again kind of adds another layer of depth and understanding to it all, and as a result your skill improves regardless if you've kind of read through it already or if you've worked through it already. Reading art books is like great but unhelpful. You gotta draw. That's kind of how you get better at art, by drawing, unfortunately. I think I'm almost halfway through it by now. I've also just been dedicating a lot of my drawing time to head construction and figure drawing, especially doing short timed studies. I've become like the acolyte of short time studies. And one big realization that hit me is that I have all the knowledge but don't actually apply it. I try to draw too fast without stopping to assess my initial sketch, so I often just ignore that the proportions are wonky and the base doesn't look solid enough, which leads to making the same mistakes over and over again and being shocked that I'm inconsistent with good drawings. Yeah. Which, you know, going over the fundamentals certainly helps with that, as it kind of humbles you into constructing your heads and bodies with more thought and precision. Like, why did nobody tell me that drawing a base head with all of the landmarks as my sketch is going to solve half of my problems? Except I'm pretty sure that it is something that is told or at least implied all the time. It's just that for some reason I thought that I can't do it this way, that like I don't deserve the easy way, or that I need to be better in freehand faces like nothing to be worthy of something. I don't know. Art and improvement in it is tightly bound with your psychology and mental states. That is my opinion, and I will die on that hill. Which is also why another realization I've made is that I've always felt very wrong compared to other artists. Like, everyone just knows what to do and how to do it, but I didn't get the memo. Like, all the artists I see online are so free and inventive in how they draw and approach learning regardless of skill, and I am a pendulum that swings from paralyzing rigidity to zero thoughts and drawing as if I have my eyes closed. Part of it is that I have chronic tension from feeling like there isn't enough time for incorrect moves or decisions, and it's just a whole mess of things that comes out of it. The rise of productivity channels in late 2010s has scarred me for good. However, lately it's gotten way easier to pace myself and to move away from unhealthy comparisons and focus on my own work and growth, experiment and let myself do things in ways outside of the bounds of right and wrong. Mainly because I spend very little time online now. Certified YouTube addict from 2020 to 2025, by the way. It feels like I finally have a normal amount of hours in my day. It's great. My attention isn't siphoned down the drain of social medias, but that's a whole tangent for another video that I feel very strongly about and have a lot of thoughts and opinions on. Yeah, to conclude, I am just trying to be patient with myself and to let myself wander in directions that seem important and suitable at any given point, trying to focus on having fun and enjoying my time while keeping my goals in mind and slowly but steadily creeping towards their completion or achievement. Do you complete goals or achieve them? Anyway, that's like all I have to say for today. It's kind of a jumbled mess of thoughts because I've been going through a lot. I have too much free time, so that's what's been happening.
Process and have zero hopes. It's literally what our instructor said. Do not get attached to a single thing you're making until it's fired, glazed, and fully ready, because something will go wrong and you don't know at what stage, but it will. And that was so true, so true.
But how are you going to put all of your heart and soul?
You don't.
You're just pragmatic. You just don't care.
Because the wheel is mean. Давай, ползи вперед.
Well, now it's soft and nice.
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't-
my God, that looks beautiful.
Magically, I have worked it into a consistency.
I guess some perseverance does also help with clay.
Well, it wasn't as much perseverance as trying it over and over again until it kind of worked.
Wait, isn't that what perseverance is? You keep trying until it works.
There is the perseverance of like persevering through it, like you started it and you take it to the finish no matter how. And then perseverance of try it, it doesn't work, you stop and try again. Which sometimes I overestimate and start over where I could have just keep going. Perfectionism.
Fuck that.
Trying to understand the proportions of this fish.
There are no proportions, it's just fish.
I know, but I'm like, why no resemblance?
I don't like making things I'm not trying to make. Like holes.
Oh yeah, I love that about clay. Things just happen to it and then you have to fix it somehow.
Told us, like, at this point, just throw cylinders over and over.
Yeah, you gotta do as much as you can.
Yeah.
I was reading a book about like art and mindset, perfectionism and stuff, and that book had an excerpt from another book, or like maybe it was just a study or whatever, but basically it's like priča. A professor divided their clay class into groups and told one group that at the end of the semester,
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
yeah,
one,
like
but
he's gonna grade one group based on the quality of one piece and another group on the amount that they did. And by the end of the semester, the group that focused just on the amount had much better pieces.
Yeah.
And that was like a wake-up call for me as a perfectionist, because it just applies to art. Like the more
For
you
sure.
do,
I know it's a crazy thing. Like the more you practice, the better you get. But like, who would have?
well, it's
Who
like
would have thought?
it's a double-edged sword, because if you just do wrong thing over and over and over again, then it's not going to get you anywhere. Like you have to also analyze and tweak in a rapid pace, but not without thought.
Yes. Our guy was doing a demo, and he threw like this pot really quick, whatever, to like demonstrate. And then people are like, it turned out really beautiful. And the people were like, are you gonna keep it? He's like, no. And everyone was like, what?
I love that.
Instead of doing glaze, you just take like rounded glass or like rounded metal, whatever, like any sort of tube. And when it's like hard dry, I can't remember if it's biscuit fiber, I don't think it is. And you just keep rubbing it. And then it becomes like super dense and sealed and like shiny. Really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very advanced technique.
Yeah, I need to look up if I don't think you bisque fire it, because then it gets like super solid. I think you let it dry and then just like keep going with glass or like something metal and smooth, and then it becomes very pretty.
Because it's like not porous.
Right? This is pretty as is, right? Because it's smooth, but it becomes like super glossy and shiny.